Coronation Street viewers believe they have uncovered the truth behind Gary Windass's secret, and many are convinced it has nothing to do with him murdering Theo Silverton. Instead, fans suspect Gary is protecting the real culprit. As soap fans know, Theo was killed in April, bringing a dramatic end to the abuse he inflicted on his partner Todd Grimshaw for more than a year. Throughout their relationship, Todd endured both physical violence and emotional torment at Theo's hands. The shocking discovery was made by Betsy Swain on the day of her mother Lisa's wedding to Carla Connor. Earlier flash-forward scenes had already revealed that a major crime would take place, with Betsy later questioned by police after finding Theo's body. At first, viewers only knew that Theo was one of several characters whose lives were in danger, alongside Carl Webster, Jody Ramsey, Megan Walsh, and Maggie Driscoll. The full details emerged a week after the wedding episodes aired. Betsy was shown finding Theo dead following a dramatic week that left all 5 potential victims facing life-threatening situations. A murder mystery is now unfolding, with Todd Grimshaw, George Shuttleworth, Summer Spellman, Christina Boyd, Gary Windass, and Danielle Silverton all named as possible suspects. Much of the evidence initially pointed towards Summer, leading to her being charged with Theo's murder. Tyrone Dobbs had previously concealed the fact that he saw Summer on the night Theo died, despite Theo still being alive at that point. However, during Wednesday's episode, Tyrone finally admitted the truth to the police. His confession has strengthened DC Kit Green's belief that Gary is responsible for Theo's death. Viewers already know Gary and Sarah Platt are hiding something, creating even more suspicion around them. Meanwhile, Maria began worrying that Gary and Sarah could be secretly involved with each other again. Later at the Rovers, Gary appeared uncomfortable as Theo's murder was discussed by Tyrone, Todd, and Kit. After Gary left, Kit followed him outside and reminded him that he remained the prime suspect. Although Gary insisted Kit would need proof, he looked visibly shaken afterward. A flashback then showed Gary standing on top of scaffolding on the night Theo died while holding a mallet. Looking down, he saw Theo's body lying below in the same location where Betsy later discovered him. However, it was an earlier conversation between Gary and Sarah that caught viewers' attention. Gary questioned why he had become trapped in a complicated web of deception, leading many fans to believe he is concealing information rather than hiding his own guilt. Many viewers now expect future flashbacks to reveal another key character's involvement, possibly Sarah or Todd. One theory suggests Sarah may have mistakenly believed Todd was responsible after receiving misleading information. According to this idea, she called Gary for help, and when he arrived carrying a weapon, he found Theo already dead. This could explain why Gary has spent months keeping secrets. Others remain convinced that Gary is simply covering for someone close to him, with Sarah frequently mentioned as the person he may be protecting. Another popular theory is that Gary arrived after the murder had already happened, picked up a nearby metal pole, and discovered Theo's body. Some fans even believe he may have witnessed another person fleeing the scene. There is also speculation that both Gary and Sarah wrongly believe Todd committed the crime. If that's true, their attempts to protect him could actually be shielding the real killer, with some viewers even suggesting Jody could be involved. For now, fans remain divided, but many agree on one thing. Gary being revealed as Theo's killer would be far too obvious for a classic Coronation Street whodunit. Former Coronation Street actress Tracy Shaw has given an emotional update on her ongoing cancer battle, admitting that the journey has been far more difficult than she ever expected. The 52-year-old star, who is best remembered for playing Maxine Peacock on the ITV soap, previously revealed that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer and had started chemotherapy treatment. After recently becoming emotional while discussing her health struggles, Tracy appeared on Lorraine to speak candidly about how she is coping and to share her latest progress. Although she said she was feeling relatively well on the day of the interview, Tracy acknowledged that treatment has been incredibly challenging. She explained that she chose to speak publicly about her experience because countless people are facing similar battles and may find comfort in knowing they are not alone. According to Tracy, chemotherapy has been one of the hardest aspects of dealing with the illness. She revealed that her first treatment session caused a severe reaction, something doctors could not predict beforehand because every patient's body responds differently. She described the initial round of chemotherapy as a major test, explaining that medical teams often have to wait and see how the body handles the medication. Unfortunately, she experienced significant side effects that made the process especially unpleasant. Tracy also reflected on the moment her cancer was discovered. She explained that the lump was located beneath her breast rather than directly on it, which initially led her to believe it was unlikely to be anything serious. Because of this, she delayed seeking medical advice, assuming the issue would resolve itself. However, the lump remained, prompting her to visit her doctor for further investigation. She revealed that medical staff were initially focused on cyst-related concerns connected to her hormone replacement therapy. While the treatment did not cause the cancer, she explained that it was helping the disease grow. Ultimately, a mammogram uncovered the cancerous lump, leading to her diagnosis and the beginning of her treatment journey. The actress admitted that life has changed dramatically since receiving the news. She said that everyday routines no longer feel normal while undergoing chemotherapy and coping with its effects. Despite the challenges, Tracy has been overwhelmed by the support she has received from family, friends, followers, and cancer survivors who have reached out with encouragement and advice. Brody Michaelis faces a frightening ordeal in upcoming Coronation Street scenes when a group of aggressive teenagers target him, leading to a dramatic chase through the precinct. The trouble begins when Brody, Dylan Wilson, and Betsy Swain purchase some alcohol and settle near the playground for what they expect to be a relaxed afternoon. Their plans quickly unravel when three intimidating youths approach and demand that they hand over their drinks. Refusing to be pushed around, Brody and Dylan stand their ground against the group's leader. However, it soon becomes clear that the confrontation could turn dangerous. As the situation escalates, Brody urges Dylan and Betsy to run while they still can. His quick thinking gives them a chance to escape, while he heads off in the opposite direction in an attempt to distract the troublemakers. Unfortunately, the gang immediately sets their sights on Brody and takes off after him, triggering a tense pursuit through Weatherfield. Earlier in the week, Brody, Dylan, and Betsy had attempted to enjoy a drink at the Rovers. However, their plans were cut short when Sean Tully refused to serve them because Brody is still underage. With no alternative venue available, the friends decide to spend their time drinking in the precinct, unknowingly putting themselves in the path of the hostile group. As Brody desperately tries to evade his pursuers, he suddenly encounters Debbie Webster, Sally Metcalf, Bernie Winter, Glenda Shuttleworth, and Christina Boyd. The women are enjoying a day out together after recovering from a lively night spent at the Chariot Square Hotel. Although they started the day feeling the effects of the previous evening, they are in much better spirits by the time Brody races towards them seeking help. Whether the troublemakers move on or seek revenge remains to be seen in the episodes ahead.